all the way from Pittsburgh.
More specifically, the great neighborhood of Oakland. It's the Breakdown, where we break things down and figure it out. My name is Jack Tofanelli.
And I'm Farah Hendawy.
And look at us. We're on film.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We don't really record. Like, I wish we recorded more of our next take things.
I know.
Because, yeah. I mean, I like seeing myself on camera. I guess I'm an attention seeker
that.
that.
We all look good on camera, and we sound really good with this new podcasting equipment.
Oh.
With this new podcasting room and this new podcasting studio. It's really,
it's
really
tasty.
nice.
It's crunchy.
I feel very fancy because if anyone knows, this equipment is not cheap. Not to flex on our audience.
Yeah, this is not ours. I think we should just.
This is ours. We paid for this. Remember?
Oh, okay, yeah, with our tuition.
With
I
our
get
tuition,
that. Yeah.
This is all made for Orb, specifically, 100%. No, I'm joking. But I want to bring down the mood a little bit because guess what? Guess who's not here?
Kay.
Kay and Dylan.
Kay and Dylan are our co-hosts as well. We have the dual role of being producers and hosts.
Yeah, they're just hosts, even if that.
Yeah, but yeah, they're just. I'm acting like a host today, and then in future episodes we'll switch it up.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I like being a creative producer that has my hand in the production.
Yeah.
As a host, as a talent, as a journalist, as well as a producer as well.
Yeah, I think like whenever we recorded KDKA Next Take, and I realized that we had a really, really, really good like thing being said, I would have this fear that it wasn't being recorded.
Okay, did you not have trust in me? Because I was the one recording it.
Yeah, no, you were recording it, but like it was also Dylan. It was also paranoia sometimes when I would do it.
Because if anyone here was able to watch us setting up for this, we were running around over and over and over again because we were making sure that everything was recorded or recording and everything was in focus and that everything was set up well, everything was good. So the paranoia is real.
Yeah.
It's super real.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
I'm having fear right now that it's not recording, but I see that it is.
Yeah, but we are going to, in our first episode of The Breakdown, we're going to be getting into some really tough stuff today. The way that we wanted to frame this was kind of like Next Take, where we did a couple of harsh stories, a couple of hard news stories, and then we went into more calmer, chiller ones.
We brought it back into something that was more digestible, and that's what I hope to achieve here, where on our slate, we have 3 stories, which we aim to do 3 separate stories every episode once a week, and have 2 harder stories and then like 1 nice story. That's just kind of what we're achieving.
But unfortunately on the agenda today is our recent takes on our takes on the recent ICE raids that's been happening and the killings, the Olympics, as well as Venezuela.
Yes.
But there is such a strong correlation between the first and the second story now that there is recent news. I'm looking at a Variety page. ICE agents were set to have a security role during the Winter Olympics in Italy.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
I read about that one, and at first I didn't really believe it. We can discuss this a little more when we talk about the Winter Olympics, but it's my take so far is like, what are we doing in?
I'm just like, how do they
Milan?
have any jurisdiction in Italy?
Yeah,
how does that make any sense?
I know, like I get the idea of federal officers. I get they have a little bit more.
But I didn't know there was
flexibility.
International officers. No, that's not a thing.
Absolutely not. If they're not FBI.
Yeah, that's just confusing.
Or sorry, not FBI. Sorry, if they're not CIA. Yeah.
That's really confusing to me. So that's going to be a huge story with the Olympics, and we can talk about that more. But let's get specifically into like domestically with ICE and what's been happening specifically. Do you want to start off with your own,
of course,
like interpretations?
Yeah. So we were discussing this yesterday, and we really wanted to touch the idea that here at the University of Pittsburgh, it is a very hot topic on what we're going to be doing with our international students who feel this fear looking at the news for the past week. It's been terrifying as an international student to look at the news. I am not an international student. I'm a citizen, but I remember applying to the University of Pittsburgh from abroad. I lived in the UAE for 13 years, and then when I applied, I guess I became adjusted to the U.S. for the first time in forever. But I've met a lot of people in my first year from China, from India. I mean, the person I work with in Student Government Board is an international student, and she has a huge responsibility when it comes to communications between other orgs and Student Government Board. So she holds a pretty important role in terms of our club, but also a lot of the research that's funded here is, you know what I mean? Like we need international students. I think
100%.
I don't think there's much disagreement with that. a lot of major institutions, including the Ivy Leagues,
Oh yeah.
requires some sort of perspective, international perspective from this. So seeing this from as someone who is a citizen, who by chance might have not been a citizen, have I not come here a little earlier when I was like, because I didn't apply for citizenship. I was born here. I'm an anchor baby. I guess you can say that.
Is that
Yeah.
the thing?
That's the what is the term called? It's not a slur, but it's it's a disambiguation. It's
Okay.
wait.
I have no idea. I just know
It's
that.
crazy that you've never heard of it.
Well, I've heard of anchor baby, and I know that it was like a huge thing whenever.
It's derogatory. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a big thing when people first really started to talk about ICE and all the specific things that have been happening with the raids and stuff, and with the new Trump administration with that. And so I know about anchor babies. I just didn't know how like real that was
Yeah.
like of a thing. I didn't know if that was just like a term that people put on people for no reason, or if it's like an actual term used by the government. Like I don't know what exactly that is.
It's the idea of like jus soli. Like some countries have it different, where you have to apply for citizenship, and it doesn't matter if you were born in that country, you are still not a citizen. But the 14th Amendment allows you to have jus soli citizenship, which is the legal principle that allows you to get citizenship if you are born to non-citizen parents in any territory in the United States. I know that there's another word for it, jus soli versus, sorry, just looking this up.
You're fine. Research is good.
Research is good.
And as producers, we do it on the fly.
Oh, yeah. And hosts and writers and editors and all of that.
Everything's on the fly.
Yeah. It's not going to be all on the fly. These are going to be more planned and polished in the future.
Only
yeah.
85% of it will be completely made up off the dome.
Oh, come on.
I'm joking.
That reduces our credibility. Come on.
Joking,
I'm
guys,
kidding.
joking.
Yeah. I'm kidding. Okay. I am going to butcher this pronunciation. There is jus soli, and then there is jus sanguinis. I think I am mispronouncing that, which is the right of blood, which a lot of countries do, including the UAE and I think Egypt.
Okay.
I'm not from the UAE. I was born to Egyptian parents. I think if your dad is Egyptian, kind of like the UAE, if your dad is Egyptian, you become an Egyptian citizen as well.
Okay, I feel like that's standard, right?
It's not. It's also a standard for U.S. citizens if they were to, like, if I were to give birth to a child outside of the territories, that person is still a citizen. But I think with some other countries, it like, no matter what, you have to make sure that your dad is a citizen and your dad is by blood. It just means by blood, but in Latin. Like your dad has to be Egyptian for you to be considered Egyptian, even if you stayed in Egypt for the last 30 years.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe that's not standard.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Like there's this really cool map provided. I know we were getting into like Latin and some just some details with that, because I did borrow a book. Purchase a book. What is the library right next to us called? Not the library.
Carnegie?
No. It's a small bookstore.
I don't know. Where is it?
It's right next to Forbes. It's right next to Carnegie Museums.
Oh,
it's that little bookstore on the side. I purchased this really good book that discusses citizenships around the world, and it discusses like more legal theory. So it's really interesting. But North America predominantly has this rule of the land, or jus soli sort of interpretation of citizenship, where if you were born on the land, like in Canada, like in Mexico, if you're born on the land, you can get citizenship. But if you were born, this map uses the color red for rule of blood, it's like your citizenship depends on the citizenship of your parents, sometimes only your father, yeah.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting. But I want to talk a little bit more about international students, because that's a huge thing, especially with, like, I feel like Harvard and Columbia, they were in the national media for a long time, specifically Harvard, because they were combating the Trump administration, and they were not bending the knee, and Columbia did, in terms of their international students. And that was a big thing.
In terms of their foreign affairs, I know what you mean. In terms of their foreign affairs, as well as international students.
It was a whole thing about, like, with Israel and Palestine and the protesting, and then the international students, and like judges were in favor of the colleges and universities that combated the Trump administration. I forget specifically what all that was. We can talk about that more on a different episode, because that's really interesting. But specifically, international students and how important they are to the U.S. education / higher education system is that in 2024, 1.1 million international students were enrolled in U.S. colleges.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And then makes the U.S. billions of dollars annually. And according to aau.edu, $43.8 billion in 1 year. That's a lot of money.
Oof.
That's a lot of money. And this is more of up to your own personal thoughts, but it allows for our universities to be amazing research institutions. And I think that is, if you were to praise America on one thing, it's for having great research institutions.
Yeah, educational institutes. Everybody around the world
comes to America.
Comes to America for their education.
I don't hear a lot of Americans going international for college unless they want to be different and cool and quirky.
Oh, also, I look at people differently. Like, if you were already born in America and you have, like, in-state tuition, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're born in Massachusetts, and then you go internationally.
You go to Oxford. I mean, okay, Oxford is Oxford, but if you go to, okay, Edinburgh is also really good. If you go to Ireland, I mean, Ireland's also kind of good. If you go to Germany, I don't know, Germany for your schooling.
Europe has great universities.
You're paying so much money. You're paying so much. Any of the UK schools, you're paying so much money.
Hey, man, they're messed up like us. But our point is that America we really do set the bar in terms of higher education. And as well as allowing our universities to be amazing research institutions, it gives universities a diverse atmosphere. And as anyone knows, if you go on a website of a college, let's say Pitt, there's going to be a multi-ethnic friend group sitting on the lawn playing a sport, and it's just that shows you're there for different interpretations of things, right?
Yeah, even though Pitt is considered, when I first came here, the term PWI was thrown around. I don't know if you've heard of it. Predominantly white institution.
Is it?
Well, people say it is. Maybe I think it's more of people's observations.
Okay.
I know that there's an opinion piece that was released by the Pitt News called "Dear PWIs, Stop Dismissing Your Black Students," and that was written in 2023 by Ashanti McLaurin. I don't know if yes. So it says Pitt is a very large and well-known PWI in America. It's made up of 20,000 undergrad students, but out of those 30,000, 20,000 plus students, there's only around 8% of them. 8% of them are black, even though Pittsburgh is. Pittsburgh is not a white city.
No, it's not. And that's really interesting because I know that there's a lot of historically black sororities and fraternities in Pittsburgh before Pitt, right?
K is in one.
That's what I'm saying. There's some that have founded here, founded in Pittsburgh, which is really cool. So I guess I didn't really know that, and I feel like there's a lot of international students at Pitt. When was that article released?
Okay, that article specifically with PWI and black students, 2023. In the recent statistics in the University of Pittsburgh website, we have 3,200 plus international students out of 30,000.
Yeah, it's not. I kind of expected more. I expected 10K because I feel like I know a lot of international students, but I guess I don't.
Most of the PhD students I know from my department, whether it's math or economics.
I know one PhD student, and he is white. So I can't add to the conversation on that.
Yeah.
But to bounce off of that, international talent drives American universities forward, especially in STEM. And Pitt, again, is a great STEM university. And why would we not take pride in stealing other countries' talented students, right?
That's the thing.
That's what
We're not stealing. It's more of culture.
I
know what you mean. Why would we not take advantage of the fact that people want to come here?
They want to be in America and contribute to our academia. Why would we not let that happen? That's just what I think of whenever I think of ICE is people our age who are now under great threat from ICE, who are just trying to get an education. I think nowadays going to college is kind of the standard. And why should not students allowed to be able to do that in peace?
Yeah.
Even if they are international, right?
I have a personal anecdote with that because it's also the idea that being an international student and, this is going to come off as convoluted, exercising the American rights, your American rights as a non-citizen is something that you can, the right to protest. If you're an international student here or somebody who's not a citizen, you have the right to join a protest. It's not completely absorbed for only citizens. That's how protests work here. I remember in my first year, I experienced my first protest in 13 years. I used to live in a country where protesting could lead you to jail. Like, you'd completely disappear off the face of the planet.
I see.
And that's the way in other countries too, you know? And coming here, imagine being an international student, seeing that for the first time and being surprised that something that you couldn't do back there is something you could do here. That's what I felt like was mostly missing out with the discussion regarding international students, is that not only do you have access to, does the University of Pittsburgh or any university or educational institute have access to international perspectives when it comes to STEM or the humanities, they also have the idea that it's kind of like a subtle form of democratization, but not in a way that involves you invading another country, if that makes sense.
I think so, yeah.
The exchange of ideas, if I'm an international student for the first time, seeing a protest and joining a protest, and then going back home and going like, hey, I know what's wrong with my government. Why don't I march ahead? Why don't I lead ahead? Why don't I plan something? I'm not happy with my government back at home. Why don't I do something about that? It sounds almost a little, I don't want to sound really elitist because, you know, that's the idea of Americanizing this discussion where like we need America to reach these ideas ourselves. We've been doing that for the entire, like, come on, I'm going to go back to my own culture. The Arab Spring expanded in a matter of days. One of the biggest democratic democratic displays of protests. Wait, that does not make sense. I guess you can say
I get what you're throwing down though.
Yeah, like the protests. Like, I remember this happened when I was very young and I was still in the UAE, but it sort of spread like wildfire. It was first Tunisia, then Egypt, then places like Bahrain, and then all of these other places. Algeria, some places succeeded, some places did not at all. But I remember you do not need America to reach to that conclusion that like democracy could be something we can try out. But if you expose those ideas to students who are engaging in American educational institutions, then I think that is a good thing.
I agree.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, 100%. I think if they come here and just like learn about how good things can be, then that could spread like wildfire. But our whole point of attaching the international students to our ICE discussion is that it's not like that right now.
Oh, not at all.
Not at all. So I feel like international students are probably not coming to America as much, and that's not making our universities as good. And that, I mean, we're making billions of dollars with these international students. So I just hope that everyone can come together and recognize how important international students are, and that ICE is hurting our chances of having those very talented, skilled
regulations with ICE, as well as not treating it like it's an army that you need to set loose, like what's happening in Minnesota.
Especially in Minnesota. And on that topic, I am curious if you agree with the way ICE can be changed institutionally. This is from thirdway.org. And one of theirs is ICE needs better oversight from Congress and independent inspectors. And ICE has been able to get away with a lot of like a lack of reporting since 2018, which is in custody deaths and poor assessments from detention facilities. So we don't know how good the like the quality of life is in those detention centers. And I don't know if you remember, but I believe in Florida, Alligator Alcatraz, was that what it was called? Do you remember that? Yes, and that was like infamous for terrible conditions. Somebody can correct me, but I believe that got shut down. And so that's just a prime example of the way ICE is able to get away with no oversight from Congress or whatever they said with a independent source, oversight source. So what do you think of that? I think that's something that could be implemented. And if you agree, how do you think it can be?
Are you talking about Alcatraz, like...
The nickname was
Alcatraz Island, right?
No. It was like Alligator Alcatraz or something.
Oh, because you said Florida, because I was like, that was in California.
No. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Alligator Alcatraz. I know what you're talking about, but I was just like, I did not know.
I don't think that's the Alligator
South Florida Detention Center. Yes.
That was the nickname.
Yes. Yes.
But to my point, do you think that ICE needs better oversight, and how can that be implemented?
of course, I think with the main thing that you're saying up recently, I'm just trying to fact check which congressperson was recently restricted from entering a ICE facility. Sorry, not ICE facility, a detention center in Minneapolis, and they were literally shooed away. They were like, "You're not allowed to visit this," and this is a congressperson ensuring that the conditions there are right and it's federally appropriate and it's constitutional. Let me look for the name again because I do remember it happened last week. And of course, the more federal regulations with the more congressional oversight. Yes, that's why what's currently happening, people are saying there might be a partial shutdown because it's a Democrats' attempt to block more funding for ICE. I think that in general, I think ICE should be treated less as a, well, number one, what they're doing is not good in any sort of way. That's not controversial. You do not pin people on the ground. You do not push people. You do not shoot people who are recording protests. You do not shoot people in the face when they're trying to drive away from you if they've already said that they were going to leave. And they, with Renee Good. But I think that as I'm looking for this person's name, number one, they should not be treated like the police. They should not be signed. I mean, that's the idea of like JAG dollars being donated to, not donated, JAG dollars being allocated towards making contracts between federal enforcement agents like ICE and local police officers. That's also something that I feel like it needs to be. What do you mean you're signing a contract? I think that's like, do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I'm just looking for the name of the congressperson that was restricted. Okay. 12 Democratic members of the U.S. House of Representatives, led by Assistant Minority Leader Joe Neguse, sued ICE and the Department of Homeland Security in D.C. federal court over a policy requiring members of Congress to provide 7 days notice before visiting certain ICE facilities. That too.
That's
incredibly suspicious.
They shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
They should be. It's Congress. They should be allowed to.
They should just come. Yeah.
It's not like they're changing anything. They're just making sure it's okay. Like it's reasonable. That doesn't make any sense to me.
How do you think that? How do you think? I think I sound a little. I guess you can say, like, I do have, I guess, I was so caught up in critiquing ICE that I wasn't really ever thinking about how we can fix ICE.
Yeah.
Because, you hear just people say, abolish ICE.
That'd be very difficult.
That would be very difficult, but what do you suggest?
I don't know. See, it's a really complicated issue about, it's a federal agency, ICE, like that's a big thing. That's like saying abolish the CIA. It's never going away. I don't think ICE is ever going away. I think there is good reasons for ICE existing, but I think the way that it is under the current administration is very flawed and very aggressive. And a lot of people like compare that to the Gestapo or whatever.
And the training behind it.
That's what I was going to get into as well. But I also want to get into, should detained individuals by ICE have an independent citizen representative? And the reason for why thirdway.org brought this up is there have been reports of terrible conditions and mistreatment of arrested individuals and mistreatment from ICE personnel. And then, like, you're able to report that, but a lot of people don't out of fear, obviously, for getting assaulted. So that's another thing. Sorry, excuse me, I'm getting my notes in order. And that would expand safeguards for citizens as well, because there's also been a lot of reports of people who are American citizens and have been their entire lives, have never even been out of the country, being arrested by ICE.
Yeah, and detained.
And a representative for these individuals, I feel like, would help that, if it's a good lawyer or whatever it may be.
I mean, that leaves the assumption that people who already do have lawyers and are detained are like going through the process, and they're going through the process of getting out of this detainment, but they're not. I mean, like, whenever I just see like the most recent person who was caught up in these detainments, and they're like, oh, their lawyer has reached out and said, actually, they've been a citizen, or actually they've lived in this country for years, and they don't have a criminal record, and they don't have, all of these things are clarified by a lawyer. So if this person is still detained, then giving this person a lawyer is unfortunately not working, you know? I do get the according to just like the idea of asylum laws, if you are seeking asylum or if you are being detained um, in regards to your status as a permanent resident, or your status as a citizen or a non-citizen or whatever, I think it's a pro bono choice where like you are automatically allocated a lawyer.
Is that true?
That's what I at least learned about it. Like when I was learning about this back in the UAE about American laws and about like the advantages of it. But let me double check.
See, I don't know for a fact, and that's why I'm bringing it up in this website. They bring it up themselves, and so it seems like no one is getting the help that they need and the assistance that they need to fight for their freedom. That's the way that my interpretation of it. So, and another thing with ICE's database has been under a lot of scrutiny for being just incorrect because there's a lot of incomplete information in the current state of the database. And we see that American citizens are being detained. And so that shows that they don't have the proper information to make sure that that's not occurring.
Yeah.
And AI has been used to scan several things with ICE, and especially with resumes for ICE agents, because people have been saying, and their opinions are that ICE agents are not prepared and they're not well equipped.
They're not police.
No.
Yeah, you can just apply.
That's what NBC, this is NBC talking about the resumes in AI, is that AI scanned that a majority of ICE applicants were former law enforcement. Wrong. And this is a quote from NBC, poorly trained, overwhelmed, and inexperienced. And that is terrible for when ICE agents are being deployed out the wazoo, especially to like Minnesota or whatever. And those people who are not poorly trained and are inexperienced in police work are going to do very important, very high-stakes things like detaining people. So that's another thing. And I think that goes to show how mismanaged the ICE system is right now. So there's that.
I'm just searching up. That's a good point. While I search up for the like pro bono legal aid in the United States in terms of immigration courts, let's actually break down. So, how to become an ICE agent.
Okay,
period.
Let's see.
I tried looking how to become an ICE agent in Pittsburgh, but I think my results are filtered out because doing research for this story, I think it just it only gave me how people are training against ICE, like, blowing the whistles and creating communities and all those sort of stuff. So I couldn't find anything. But this is according to the ICE website, www.ice.gov. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Academy Detention and Removal Operations Training Division Basic Immigration Law Enforcement Training Program.
Okay.
That almost, when you buy something on Amazon, it's just like a bunch of like...
just a bunch of
just tags. Okay. The first thing is a Criterion Task Testing, CTT.
Okay.
It represents an obstacle course that must be completed within 1 minute and 45 seconds and a 1.5-mile run. That must be completed within 14 minutes and 30 seconds. And then there's a conduct and efficiency reports. They're used to keep you apprised. This is a direct quote. Keep you apprised of your progress through the training program. It will be completed by your class coordinator at the end of your training to cover your performance in behavior, incidents, attitudes, etc. That's very broad. And then another standard of conduct's form, the consumption of beverages or tea in the classrooms.
What?
Wait, yeah, this is just what you're not allowed to do in the class. You're not allowed to eat. All containers must be disposed properly. Like, what are we doing? Is this a classroom? Is this a university classroom?
I feel like I understand this because you're training to be an agent. You know what? Whatever. They're not allowed to drink orange juice in the classroom. Whatever. But I think a lot of people think that the requirements should be much higher for an ICE agent.
Yeah.
And do you agree with that?
Of course.
Okay.
I think with more of the more recent case with Alex Presetti. Is Alex Presetti? Preddy, sorry. Alex Preddy. Apologies for mispronouncing it. Alex Preddy, when people slowed down the video, they saw an ICE agent already take the gun away from his holster, and they shot him regardless, even after the gun was taken away. That is not something that, unless this person is using the gun, any sort of trained official knows that like the most you could do is shoot this person in the foot as like a warning. You don't shoot this person to kill them.
See, but what is the protocol for that? Because are you allowed to shoot someone as a warning? That doesn't sound correct to me. That sounds a little too much like, I feel like they had him detained. They took away the gun. I literally don't understand the reason why he would be shot. I've seen the video. I haven't seen a lot of angles because I don't really want to digest that content. I know I should probably, if I were
for
going
the
to
sake
talk
of
about
this,
it. But the angles that I have seen, I don't really understand how he can be, like, why he would be shot. His gun was taken away from him.
Yeah.
And there have been reports that he was, like, aggressive, whatever, to the ICE agents, and he was, like, kicking cars and stuff and, like, spitting at them. But
it's the same argument towards like police brutality. Like, you know, even if this suspect is acting aggressive, it's a warning shot. It's not a shot to kill this person.
You don't shoot them like 10 times. And the protocol, when there's like 4 agents, 4 police officers, 4 ICE agents specifically, you detain him because there's more of you than him. And I feel like your goal is everyone comes out unscathed. No one dies, no matter if they're aggressive or what, unless he's pulling for his gun and is going to shoot you, then I don't think anyone would argue that you would have to.
Self-defense,
whatever it may be. But that was not the situation with him.
There was 5 guys on top of him at that point.
Like, I don't understand why anyone would be in favor of shooting him or be like, he was asking for it.
Yeah. The domestic terror... Oh, wait, go on.
No, go on.
No, I mean, I want to get your perspective on the use of the word domestic terrorist, because that term is thrown around a lot because they're like, oh, why do they, you know, when they're making fun of Muslims or when they're discriminating against Muslims, it's like, oh, you know, they're all terrorists. Yeah, it's like, oh, why are we using the word terrorist to explain a whole group of people when we should be focusing more on domestic terrorists? And some people call school shooters domestic terrorists.
See, what's a domestic terrorist then?
What is a domestic terrorist?
I don't know. Okay. To me, that seems like anyone can be a domestic terrorist if you're causing terror.
Yeah.
And it's happening domestically.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most brief way we can put it.
I don't know how else to really put it. I would need a better excuse me. I would need a better idea. But okay. This has been do you have any more final thoughts in terms of ICE before we move on?
Just to tie in, because we did talk about this, there are community legal clinics for free, immigration legal clinics. You can also see it in a lot of law schools. And ICE training qualifications, usually you must be a U.S. citizen below the age of 37. And pass a background investigation, medical exam, drug test, and the physical fitness test that I described a little earlier.
Okay, interesting. Are you excited about the Olympics?
I usually like the Summer Olympics. I don't pay attention to the winter ones.
I do agree. I do agree. But I will say the Olympics is fun. In my political science class, we're learning about the Olympics and how important it is.
Did they tell you about the betting process, or like the process where like each country is selected? It's like it's kind of like the FIFA in a way, right?
But yeah, probably. I don't know. But I know that there's like a lot of stuff to that. But the games will take place February 6th until the 22nd. So that's a lot of time for the games to be played, and that's pretty exciting. And this time it's in Italy. I don't know where it was last time. Do you know?
Like in the summer? France.
Oh, no, that's true.
But the last Winter Olympics.
I don't know where that is.
Last winter. Okay, by the way, just to confirm, the International Olympic Committee selects host cities for the Olympic Games. And the process usually involves submitting bids, often 7 to 10 years in advance, because they need to fulfill a sustainability, infrastructure, and budget criteria 7 to 10 years in advance.
That's bananas. Yeah. That's actually wild.
It was in Beijing, last Winter Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But yes, this will take place in Italy, and actually 3 different regions. And forgive me if I pronounce these incorrectly, but it's Lombardia, Trentino, and Veneto.
These are the cities that are
Veneto? These are the 3 regions.
Oh.
They're called regions, not necessarily cities. And apparently this is on their website. If you go to the Winter Olympics website, it's, quote, the most spread out Winter Olympics in history. And 2,900 athletes are competing, I am pretty sure.
Oh
so that's
God. Yeah.
pretty interesting. And this was making me think, how cool would it be if Pittsburgh could host the Olympics? Because we're doing the draft, the NFL draft.
Yeah,
this
we're doing
year.
the draft. Mm-hmm.
What other notable things have happened? We did 2 marches ago. We did the March Madness.
Oh yeah,
We held
yeah.
a few March Madness games.
Mm-hmm.
I went to one with what's his name? Zach Golke for Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Not this Oakland, California Oakland.
Oh.
And he went off against Kentucky. That was a crazy game.
Mm-hmm.
And they upsetted Kentucky, the Wildcats. So shout out to that game. But do you think we could host the Olympics?
Pittsburgh, I think when I was hearing about the draft, it was like mostly the city trying to build up the infrastructure to sustain the draft. Because
Yes.
a lot of our infrastructure is really, really old, and our stadiums on the outside is really, really old. Last semester, we covered a couple of accidents that happened from,
Yep.
the renovations. But I think we could get there. Honestly, we could get there, but just not now.
No,
Yeah.
probably not. But it would definitely, a majority of the events would take place in Acrisure, which
Mhm.
would be pretty cool on the North Shore.
Mhm.
So that'd be fun. But would we even want that? Because there have been like past cities and like past countries have really suffered post Olympics, and like hosting the Olympic Games is not an easy feat.
Mhm.
So it is really impressive that Italy is like trying to do it super spread out, and like this region over there and that region over there and
So
that
it's
region
not concentrated in one part of the country.
it's
Yeah.
impressive and it's smart
Mhm.
because it's not like all 10 trillion people trying to go to the Olympics and
Yeah.
like view it and
Mhm.
whatever are in one spot. They're kind
Yeah.
of
10
throughout.
trillion people.
Give or take.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. And to be honest, I really only care about the Summer Olympics because
Mhm.
of basketball. Call me basic. But
Oh,
it was an amazing game. The gold medal.
Gymnastics. I'm a
Oh, the
gymnastics.
gymnastics are
yeah.
good. America is good at gymnastics.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We got Simone Biles and
Oh,
we have an
yes.
all-star team. But I think the only thing looking forward with the Winter Olympics is like maybe figure skating. I like figure skating. I like watching it, but I'm not crazy about it as much as like basketball and gymnastics, like watching basketball and gymnastics. Yeah.
See, I'm sad you didn't think about men's ice hockey because that's a big storyline coming into the game or into the Olympic Games. Is the United States, Canada, Finland, and Sweden drew 9.3 million viewers last Winter Olympics. So big. And the championship last year, or last time, I should say, drew in 16 million viewers. And that was between the United States and Canada. I think that was last year. Yeah, that was a big event. And that match had 3 different fights in the first 9 seconds.
I see.
So, and I know you don't like consume sports to a degree like me or something.
Yeah.
Or even Kay. But how do you feel that hockey, they allow people to fight? They let them square up. The refs like circle around them and let them duke it out. Like, how do you feel about that?
Like the general concept of hockey?
Or no,
Ice
them
hockey?
fighting.
What do you mean fight? Like physical fight?
Yes, they're allowed to scrap. They're allowed to punch each other.
What?
Have you never seen that?
I've watched a little bit of a hockey game and decided to leave halfway through, but no.
No, they're allowed to fight. They're
Like
allowed
punch
to. They're
and
allowed
kick?
to. They are allowed to fight. Well, kicking no, because they got skates on.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You're
they're
allowed to-
they're allowed to square up and punch. That's expected. And like at the beginning of games or
I know they can
matches-
like kind of bump into
No,
people.
but this is like this is like allowed. Like they stop the match
Mhm.
for this to occur. And sometimes at beginning of matches, like everyone knows the team is going to fight each other right off the bat.
Mhm.
And so they pull off their gloves the second the puck is dropped,
Mhm.
take off their helmets, and they get to fighting. Sometimes they like stop it, but I don't consume a lot of hockey, but like
Yeah.
it's allowed.
We're learning new things in the studio today.
Hey,
I
this
did
is-
not know this was a thing.
It's a thing, and that's what people are like. Maybe the NFL should allow it. Maybe like the NBA.
What?
I'm-
They like straight up square up before
they
a
swear-
game?
they swear- But
Yeah.
my point for bringing that up is that this year's Olympics is going to be pretty huge because now we're going to get a rematch of between Canada and the United States, and like Finland and like the Nordic countries are known for being amazing at hockey, of course. And another thing about this is that NHL players will play in the games for the first time since 2014. And honestly, did not know that NHL players which is our domestic hockey
Nas-
league, the best in the
National
world,
Hockey League.
were not allowed to play in the games. You think that would be like given because NBA players, like LeBron, is suiting up every time.
Why?
Curry
Wait,
is suiting up every time.
what's with why?
The reason NHL players have not played because of insurance, travel costs, and commercial licensing rights, and that's from ESPN. So pretty boring stuff for them just not being able to represent their countries. And I believe this is another example of poor hockey marketing because there's a common critique with the NHL and marketing in America is that it's definitely not our most popular sport. Out of the 4 major sports, it's the 4th. And
Hockey. I would think lower.
It's honestly 5th because MLS is more popular now. Probably, maybe that's a hard.
So it's
a hot
basketball. It's football.
NFL, basketball. MLS has overtaken the MLB, which is at 4, and then 5, which is NHL.
MLS.
Major League Soccer.
Oh,
Messi,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know about Messi?
Okay.
He only plays for the league.
No, he doesn't. Wait, he's a soccer player, yeah, but he's not in the
Inter
MLS.
Miami.
What is going on today?
How do you not? First, you didn't know they could fight in hockey, and then you don't even know Messi plays in the United States?
The only sports that I watch is FIFA, and I don't
That's
even watch
soccer.
that enough. Yeah, soccer, but FIFA is like an international
I know,
thing.
that's the organization.
Yeah.
That's not a league, that's an
I know
organization.
it's not a league. It's like based on countries, but like that's how much I care about it. Like nothing else. Like I don't know the leagues. I don't know Barcelona.
Messi has like been playing in for Inter Miami since like 2022, 23. I think.
That's what?
Yes.
What?
I don't know how you didn't know that.
Whatever.
But my point is that this is poor hockey marketing.
Yeah.
Because why would the biggest stars in hockey not be allowed to represent their countries? Like not allowing LeBron to represent his country. What's up with that? That doesn't make any sense, and that's a critique that people have. And so maybe like hockey just needs better marketing in general.
Yeah.
And those are some big storylines in regards to ice hockey. There's probably so many fun storylines that we can cover whenever the actual Olympics occurs. But I just want to talk about some of the games. Alpine skiing, bobsleigh. I thought it was bobsled.
I thought it was bobsled too.
It's sleigh. It's bobsleigh. 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 Curling.
Curling, obviously.
Curling is a need. Lunge. Figure skating.
Hell yeah.
Skeleton.
I am looking at the list right now.
Yes, skeleton. That one, I just like the name. And I think that's the same as bobsleigh, but you're like facing down, like you're laying on your stomach and going down. Compared to which is bobsleighing is the opposite.
You're up, yeah. Sorry.
So it just seems scary. And no wonder it's called skeleton because guess what? You can probably turn into a skeleton if you do that too much.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. It seems dangerous. And I just have some questions.
Ski jumping. Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, that's a fun one. I love that one. Oh, I have a question for you. Which are you most excited for? I guess you already answered that.
Figure skating, yeah.
I'm most excited for hockey and snowboarding. Snowboarding is awesome. Who doesn't love snowboarding? And I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have a dog in this race or horse in this race or whatever. A dog in this fight, a horse in this race.
Yeah,
sorry,
like you know a lot of players anyways?
No,
Not with
no.
hockey, but like with
No.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that I think snowboarding has so much more aura than skiing. Sorry, people who ski look like nerds. You look like big fat nerds. You look like losers.
People who figure skate?
No, ski. Are you listening to me?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah. I hear you and I feel you and I see you.
I don't feel seen. I don't feel understood.
Because I Okay. Skiing. Okay, I'm going to look at the reference of an alpine skiing. I think the idea of skiing is not something like between two people, if one's snowboarding and the other one's skiing, I'm looking at the person who's snowboarding. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm just saying. They have more aura.
I guess so.
They have more aura, and that's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I don't have a horse in the race because I don't do either.
Fun fact, just a little fun fact. Alpine skiing was introduced in the 1936 Winter Olympics, and I think at the time it was called the Nordic Games, which is really cool. We should have kept that.
That's kind of the cooler name.
But snowboarding was only introduced in 1998.
They just couldn't handle how cool it was.
Yeah. They were threatened.
Okay, but what sport of the Winter Olympics, out of the slate that I said or that you're looking up right now, do you think you could dominate?
Figure skating.
No, you couldn't.
I wanted to say something. I'm really bad at sports. I started working out 3 years ago. It's great. I can do that. I played squash growing up. I swam growing up, all those sort of things. But like competitively, no way. But yeah, I think the idea of not freestyle skiing. Okay, no. Sorry. Figure skating.
Okay.
I think I would have some moves to show off. Like I would be
Okay.
dramatic. I would be like,
So it's like you can do whatever you want, and
Yeah,
it's not
and
like
then-
a set routine that you have to accomplish?
yeah. I mean, like one fun fact I do know about like I keep confusing skiing with figure skating. Is figure skating. I know that there's like this banned move. Do you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
I do
The
know what you're talking.
backflip.
Yes.
It was
Yeah,
done.
no wonder it's banned.
Yeah, because it's so dangerous. But I love the story behind it. Backflip because I remember it was a black figure skater who made it banned in the first place
Yeah.
because she did it so well. It was a Surya Bonali. Yeah, I think it was her. Yeah, after she did it, I think they were like, okay, this is way too dangerous. We can't do this. So, Surya Bonali from France was the first skater to successfully complete a backflip on one blade at the Olympics
That's crazy.
during the 1999 Winter Olympics. The thing is, if you watch the entire clip, she actually falls before she starts doing that. So at that point, she's already disqualified.
Oh, but
It
she
was-
just did it anyways.
She did it anyways because she's like, I lost. Might as well do it. Might as well change history.
And she did? Well, good for her.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. Maybe this is stupid for me to say, but I feel like I could do pretty well in curling. Because there's not. From what I know about it, it's not figure skating that's very difficult.
Mhm.
It's not skeleton that I know I would crash and die.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you got a funny little like thing.
Mm-hmm.
You push it and then you mop.
And yeah, you brush. You
If I
mop.
have a good pusher and I'm a good mopper, I feel like I could do it.
That's all it takes.
That's
Being
all
a
it
pusher
takes.
and a
A
mopper.
good team, and I feel like we could go far. I feel like I could dominate curling. I could be the Michael Jordan of curling.
Curling.
I
I feel
just
like I
need-
could dominate anything if I put my mind
Well,
to it.
of course,
Yeah.
but I feel like if I was given like a month
Mhm.
to figure out how to be good at this, and I was given like a good trainer, like an
Mhm.
Olympic trainer, I could do it. Like I could do it. Do you believe in me?
I don't believe in you in general.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. How are we able to start up Orb if it wasn't for you?
Exactly. If it wasn't,
for both of us.
um,
You need a team is what I'm saying.
we need a good team, and it's sad that half of our team is not here. But, anyways,
Not to diss on them, but yeah.
do you have any more final thoughts
About the Winter Olympics,
or anything?
I should start getting into figure skating. I think
You
that's what I'm
should.
learning.
You should.
It's
Well,
never too late. Yeah.
It's never too
And
late.
it's never too late for you to start your own curling team, Jack.
I'll start a club here at Pitt.
I think there is one.
Oh, well, I can like Pitt curling V2, and I can be their direct competitor, and we could like make it a
Club
movie.
curling. Club curling? Is it like club swimming? Like
I don't know.
curling. We got to confirm this before we finish this segment. Curling, University of Pittsburgh. Whoa. Okay. Okay, wait. All right.
Is it real?
There's a Pittsburgh curling club, but I don't think it's associated with.
Boom! There I
Yeah.
look at me go. I can
It's
make
Penn
something.
State's. Oh my gosh, I got that confused. It's Penn State's curling club.
See,
See? You
now,
gotta,
that's our direct competitor
yeah.
in a different university.
Hell yeah.
This is my official pitch
Hmm.
for club curling.
There
at the
was one in
University of Pittsburgh.
2012.
Oh.
There was a curling team in 2012.
They
Pitt.
disbanded because they didn't have me.
Yeah, because it was only run by a duo, according to a very old article in the Pitt News.
All right.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Well,
Yeah.
Any more final anecdotes before we wrap up this episode?
No.
No, you don't got anything for us?
Do you have anything for me?
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for coming on.
But anyways, thank you so much for listening. This has once again been an Or-produced podcast. The
Mhm.
Breakdown. This was
Yeah.
awesome to be in a new studio.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. She's kicking me. Okay.
I didn't mean that. I did not mean that. I was like, oh, what is that thing? Okay.
It's my pant leg.
Yeah.
But we will see you next Thursday.
Yeah.
We hope to see you then.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Have a nice night.
See ya.